Welcome to the course of Engineering Graphics and Design. Subject code is 3110013 and its credit is 4. Myself, Vimal Salod from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. Now let's take the contents or syllabus of this subject. First of all, what is engineering drawing? Why it is known as language of all engineers? And scale, engineering curve, loci of point, orthographic projections, projection of solid and section of solid, development of surfaces, and CAD. These are the chapters in your syllabus. Now, let's see what is engineering drawing. It is defined as an art of representation of the object on a plain paper with systematic lines. One simple object is shown here. Now, let's see why it is known as language of all engineers. Look at this object. Suppose we want to manufacture or produce this kind of object. Now, as an engineer, we have to explain this product to the shop floor persons who are actually manufacturing this object. So, as an engineer, how you would explain it to the persons who are actually manufacturing this object? Do you think it would be convenient if I explain in this way? It is length of this object, it is height of this object? Not at all. So there should be some medium of communication between engineers and shop floor persons. That medium of communication is engineering drawing. If I put my concept on paper, and then it will be very easy for me to explain this product to the shop floor persons. Now it is related to every engineering branches. Let's see how. If you consider civil engineering, then buildings, bridges, these are the products of civil engineering. If you consider mechanical engineering, then there are so many machines, machine components, IC engines, these are related with mechanical engineering. If you consider electrical engineering, then electrical motors, transformers, these are the products of electrical engineering. If you consider computer engineering, then CPU, keyboard, mouse, these are the products of computer engineering. All these products are manufactured on shop floor, and for all this kind of product, it requires some drawing to manufacture it. That's why it is known as language of all engineers. And all the rules is similar whenever you go in the world. That's why it is known as universal language. Let's now see the syllabus chapters of this subject. First of all, scale. You have to study three types of this scale. First is reduced scale. There are some machine components which are very large in size. For example, aircraft engines, IC engine parts. These are very large in size. Now, what do you think? How it can be drawn on a paper of limited size? For this kind of solution, we require to reduce the original size of the object to some extent, and for that purpose, reduced scale is used. For example, 1 is to 1 is to 10, 1 is to 100, 1 is to 20. These all are reduced scale. Second type of scale is enlarged scale. It is exactly opposite case. There are some components which are very small in size. For example, gears of wristwatch is very small in size. So if we want to manufacture it, actual size drawing will be not convenient. So we require to enlarge actual size, and for that we are using enlarged scale. Third one is full size scale. In this type of scale, actual size of the object is taken to prepare its drawing. Next chapter in your syllabus is engineering curve. In engineering curves, you have to study conics, cycloidal curve, involute, and spiral. These are the engineering curves. Now let's see what is conics. If we cut a right circular cone, which is shown here, by cutting plane with a in different position, so there will be different section. So all these sections are generally known as conics. Here some conics are shown: circle, ellipse, parabola, hyperbola. These are the examples of conics. If we see application of these conics, then you know the earth is moving around the sun, and this path of this earth is elliptical. There are some tanks. Heads of these tanks are elliptical in shape. If you throw any projectile from the earth, it will follow parabolic path. This concept is used in the designing of missile, that how much distance it will cover. There are some cooling towers which are shaped hyperbolics. So these are the applications of conics. Next type of the curves are cycloid, and in this category, first type is cycloid. If a rolling circle rolls on a straight surface for one complete rotation, then it will cover distance equal to circumference. And if we consider one point on the circumference of this rolling circle, then it will follow some particular path during one rotation. That path is known as a cycloid. Next type of curve is epicycloid. In this type of curve, rolling circle is outside generating circle or directing circle. And if we consider one rotation of this rolling circle, and if we consider one point on the circumference of this rolling circle, then the path traveled by this point, it will follow some particular curvilinear path. That path is known as epicycloid. Here this curve is shown by pink curvilinear. Then next type of curve is hypocycloid. In case of hypocycloid, rolling circle rolls inside the directing circle. Here also we have to consider one point on the circumference of the circle, and when it completes one rotation, it will also follow some particular path, and that path is known as hypocycloid. Cycloidal curves are used for the designing of gear tooth. Involute and spirals are also used in the designing of gear tooth. There are some mechanisms like spring. It is shaped like Archimedean spiral, that is spiral chuck of the lathe machine. Faceplate of this lathe machine is designed on the base of spiral concept. Next chapter in your syllabus is loci of point. It is very important chapter because there are so many machine parts which have some relative movement. If you consider IC engine, then there is some relative movement between some components. And if you want to follow, if you want to trace out path of any particular point, then we have to apply the concept of loci of point. Here one simple example is shown. You can see in this diagram, there is one straight line AB, one point is F, and if you consider point P, which is moving in a plane in such a way that its distance from straight line AB and its distance from the focus F, its ratio remains similar and constant. So what path it will follow? That path is shown here, that is parabolic path, and it is loci of point. Next chapter in your syllabus is orthographic projection. Orthographic projection is very important chapter in your syllabus. See, let's understand simple meaning of projection. Here one object is shown, there is one light source, and there is one POV, that is plane of projection. If we throw a light on this object, then same image or shadow we can see on plane of projection. That image is known as projection. Here there is some assumption, that is light source is at infinite distance. So what will happen? All the projectors are parallel to each other. Ortho is Latin word and it means right angle. So orthographic projection, it is also known as a right angle projection. So here some particular conditions are satisfied, that is all the projectors are parallel to each other and it is perpendicular to the plane of projection. That's why it is known as orthographic projection. In orthographic projection, you have to study projection of point, projection of line. Point is dimensionless identity. Then projection of line, it has one dimension, it is one dimensional object, that is line. Then projection of plane, plane has two dimensions, that is length and width. Third dimension, thickness, is negligible in case of plane. Then you have to study projection and section of solid. There are some solids like prism, pyramid. Here it is shown in figure. Prism is a solid which has two similar bases. Both of these bases are bounded by rectangular planar surfaces. Now, depending on the type of the base, type of the prism is defined. Here, square prism is shown because the shape of base is square. If it is pentagonal shape, then it will be known as a pentagonal prism. If its shape is hexagonal, then it is known as a hexagonal prism. Another solid is pyramid. There is one apex and one base point. Both apex and base points are bounded by triangular surfaces. Here also, depending on the type of the base, type of the pyramid is defined. Here shape of the base is square, that's why it is known as a square pyramid. If shape of the base is pentagonal, then it would be known as a pentagonal pyramid. Now, about section of solid, if we cut these solids with a cutting plane in different positions, then we will obtain sections of solid. Some sections of solids are shown here. Your next chapter in your syllabus is development of surfaces. For the mechanical engineers who are working in fabrication industries, this chapter has very much importance. If we want to manufacture some components which are complicated in shape, then development of surface concept is very useful. If you open out any solid, then layout would be known as development. Your simple example is shown, it is pentagonal prism. So now next chapter in your syllabus is isometric drawing. In isometric drawing you have to study two types, isometric view and isometric projection. As compared to isometric view, isometric projection has reduced dimension by 0.816 times. This chapter is useful for the persons who are technically not trained to have the concept or how this product will look like. For that, isometric drawing is very useful as it is three-dimensional drawing. So one can have the idea about shape and size of the product. Next chapter in your syllabus is computer aided designing, that is CAD. Nowadays this software is widely used and it is very useful to make very precise and accurate drawing with less time. There are some manufacturers who are developing this software, and one of the most famous software is Autodesk. That's why sometimes also it is known as AutoCAD. Now the most important point for you student is how to prepare this subject. This subject is purely based on concept. So you have to make practice for this subject. You have to prepare each and every drawing in your sketchbook with actual dimension. And you know that practice makes man perfect. More you will practice, you will get more perfection. Thank you very much for watching.